Apparently it came out in January. I thought it was like brand new. I'm sure it was brand new the other week. Came out in January. Anyway.
Yeah! Hellfire! Welcome back. We are your favourite music show on the internet, other than all those other ones, and we're called Music Is It Good Though? My name is Misty Lakes, and I'm here with my friend, whose name is...
Sandwich.
Sandwich, we'll go with Sandwich, yeah. So tell me, over the past few weeks or so, what have you been listening to, my chum?
Very aggressive. Yeah, a fair bit. I don't know when it came out, but towards either the end of last year or the beginning of this year, there was an EP put out by Kirk Hammett.
Okay.
Called Portals, which is just instrumental music, which normally I'd shy away from, but I thought, with it being him, I'll give it a chance. And it was okay.
Right.
I wanted it to be better than it was, but
okay is still high praise for you if it's instrumental.
Yeah.
So in terms of what I've been listening to, the one album that I can think of that has stood out, which it has been, we've not recorded for a couple of weeks, have we? So the Manic Street Preachers, have you heard much by them?
Yeah, I love them.
Do you? So there was, I spat them when I spoke.
Yeah, I saw that.
I can't remember what the album's called. It's something like Everything Must Go. Yes, that's the one. And it was an absolute ragingly good album. I really enjoyed it. There was more songs on there that I recognised than I expected to.
That's what we're listening to this week.
This week, we're listening to the brand new album by the band BABYMETAL, and the album is called...
The Other One.
Yeah. So, preconceptions of BABYMETAL.
Love them. I love BABYMETAL. Like, when it was first, the concept was put to me years ago, I was like, this can't be good. I think you probably showed them me.
Probably did.
Yeah.
When GIMME Chocolate came out.
Yeah. Because it's called kawaii metal, isn't it?
Kawaii metal.
Kawaii.
Yeah.
So it's like cute metal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which, if you look back, I'm sure I probably was listening to these when I was listening to black metal and death metal and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh god, this is going to be awful.
Have a little bit of Nile, bit of 1349, bit of BABYMETAL.
Yeah. But it's actually amazing. Like, I liked it then and I love it now. It takes all the seriousness away from it, even though they do it completely stone faced.
Yeah.
Whatever. One of the guitarists is called Peri Metal.
Right.
Like, I looked at the credits of the songs and Peri Metal was right, and I was like, what the hell?
Herman Lee's performed with them as well. I don't know if it was live or if it was like featuring on one of their albums, but they've got like some pretty big names in metal.
On the last album that they did, the new lead singer of Arch Enemy guested on a song.
Right.
How about you? What was your preconception?
I think when if it was the first album, the one with Gimme Chocolate.
Yeah, it was.
When that one came out, I was super into it, and I thought this is something very different and silly, but still fun, and still good music with the silliness.
Yeah.
I'd listened to a couple of... Did they have a song called Karate?
Yeah.
Was that off the last album or the one before? Or?
The one before, I think.
So I listened to that one, and then the excitement of it had kind of waned a bit for me then. And then I don't think I'd heard anything off the last album, and then come into this one here. So my preconceptions with it, I really liked them a while back, not really heard them for a while, and not really knowing, did they still sound the same? Have they kind of progressed on to something else? I don't...
Yeah, well, this album, apparently... I never looked properly into the writing stuff behind it. I just assumed that because of the way the Idol thing works, they didn't write anything. But the second song on this album features the first lyrics written by one of the ladies at the front, Sue Metal.
Sue Metal. So it's Sue Metal... Mo Metal's the one that left, isn't she?
No, Mo Metal's the one that's still in there. It's
Right.
the other one.
Yuki Metal?
Yuki Metal.
Something
That might
like
not
that.
be right. But there's another one now who's joined full time. Who was one of the backup dancer things.
Oh, right. So there's 3 singers
There's
again
back
now.
3 now.
Right, I didn't know that.
I can't remember what her name is. So.
Metal.
Probably like Meatball Metal or something.
Meatball Metal. You heard it here first, guys. Meatball Metal. Coming to the album, what did you think of it?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, really liked it. I knew what to expect though, because I had read reviews of the album before I even listened to it. And it just said pretty much this is what you expect from a baby metal album. So I thought, oh yeah, this is going to be good.
And it was when we were looking last time about what do we want to listen to next time, what's a new album that's come out. We saw that there was a baby metal album. We played track 1 for about 20 seconds and went, yeah, we'll do this.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, gone away, listened to it, come to our own decisions, and that's where we're at now.
Yeah, because if you try and describe baby metal to people, like, it's pretty aggressive, hard metal music, isn't it? Like, really down-tuned guitars in some bits, and but the vocals, it's like really... if I heard this in any other style of music, I think I'd stay away from it, because it's proper... Is it auto-tune? I don't know what it is, but it's treated, isn't it, the vocals?
It sounds auto-tuned, but whether it is or not, I don't know, but yeah.
And the two styles should really clash, but they just don't. It just goes so well.
Can you think of any other bands that mix together, like, dance and metal? Probably the closest thing maybe is something like industrial, or...
Yeah.
like, Rammstein have got, like, the 4 on the floor beats, or some new metal, I guess.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that would be classed as dance metal. There probably is something out there.
Yeah, there's nothing that I can think of that's come across my radar. That's the only other bands that are similar to baby metal that I know of are probably still considered just kawaii metal, which is there's a band called Lady Baby.
Yeah, that's weird.
Weird band, weird concept, but they do sound pretty good. Other than that, that's the end of my knowledge of kawaii metal, I think.
Yeah. So did you like the album as well?
Yeah, I did enjoy it. It didn't blow me away. I think it's one of those where, because it's quite a gimmicky band, with the first album when it's something completely different, it really does kind of blindside you, and it's just something new that you've not heard of before. With it being very similar to the other albums, it's still good, but doesn't have that shocking element anymore.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a good thing in this, because gimmicks usually fade, whereas these have maintained a high level throughout their albums.
And, like, a high level of success as far as I can tell, because they still play festivals and stuff, don't they? And they still tour the world. Like,
they're actually in Leeds with Sabaton.
Sabaton, yeah. What do you make of... It's less of a thing now, because obviously they've aged a bit. It was a bit weird at the beginning how they were so young, do you think?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of what Japan does is kind of... strange in how they treat the...
Pedo-y.
Yeah. Yeah, that sums it up quite well. It is quite pedo-y, isn't it? And how they kind of glamorise children in ways that are probably not going to happen in a lot of the rest of the world.
No.
But just taking the music as it is, it's fun, it's good.
I mean, the imagery now is... well, I guess it's more fine, because when I've seen them on stage now, they dress like warriors.
Right.
So they've gotten rid of the creepy imagery anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure it was like little corsety dresses or something at one point.
Yeah.
I might be wrong with that, but I'm sure Gimme Chocolate, they were wearing little short dresses. Top tracks of the album?
Mirror, Mirror.
Yeah, that's one that stuck in my head. Definitely.
Got a proper hook on it. And then Metalism. And then Monochrome.
Very similar to mine, to be fair. Mirror, Mirror, Metalism were in my top 3. And then track 2, that Divine Attack Shingeki, couldn't tell you how it went, but I know definitely every time I listened to the album, that was one where I picked my phone up and went, I'll have to remember that name.
Yeah, so that's the one that Sue Metal wrote.
Right.
The lyrics to, anyway.
Yeah, them's is my top 3.
Yeah, and again, it's good that it's short. Apparently it came out in January. I thought it was like brand new. I'm sure it was brand new the other week. Came out in January. Anyway. We are in April now. Weird. Were there any tracks you didn't like?
No.
Yeah,
no.
Same.
No, there was nothing that was bad on there because it was all very on brand. So, yeah. I'm sure that I said that it had only just come out when I looked.
Yeah. Well, that's why we looked at it, because it's like new out this week or something.
What's happened?
Maybe we've not seen each other for longer than we thought.
Yeah.
It's actually been 3 months.
I think we've just fell into a time warp somewhere. So, yeah. Out of 10? Yeah.
8.
Okay. I would go for a 6. It was enjoyable, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be listening to it more after today. It was fun to listen to. Like, I think the first album had more staying power because it was something so new.
Gimme Chocolate.
Yeah.
That's still a banger, isn't it?
It is a banger, definitely. But yeah, still enjoyed it, but it's lost a bit of its pizzazz for me, just in that it's less unique now.
Yeah.
But then in its own way, that probably, at least to my knowledge, was the first kawaii metal band, at least to get big.
I've never heard of it before.
That in itself is pretty cool. So that will average us out at a 7. You said 8,
7,
didn't you?
yeah.
7 out of 10. That's pretty good, isn't it? So based on that, this week, you should be listening to music, because we've discovered that music is good after all.
Yeah.
Tune in next week for us to be reviewing that album that's up at the top of the screen that we've not decided on yet. And in the meantime...
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh, subscribe. Not said that for a while.
Yeah, we've not, have we? Do that, please, if you don't mind, and have a nice day.